Welcome everyone. Today I am talking to Jessi, who is the winner of one of my challenges from last month, and she is quite not so new on Substack, but she just got her first paid subscriber, and we celebrate that. Yay! But before that, for the people who don't know you yet, Jessi, will you please introduce yourself?
I'm Jessi. I am creative. Jessi is my Substack. I teach other busy creatives and beginners on just creativity, and that it's easier than you think, and that really the scariest part is just getting over your own mindset and just putting something to paper always feels better than not doing anything at all.
Yeah, I love that. It really is sometimes you just, I mean, I think most people forget about creativity and just went into the daily, routine and without even paying that much attention to themselves, which is such a waste. I think everyone has to focus on creativity and pay attention to that and actually grow their creativity inside because as we grow up, because like when we're kids we have a lot of creative thoughts and enthusiasm and all, but when as we grow up then this like slowly kind of disappears or decreases. So
Yeah, no, totally agree. Like as you get older, it seems like we stop imagining and we lose some of that creativity. And it's like a weird thing because I know when people think of, oh, being creative means I have to be talented, I have to be this protege, I have to be like a Michelangelo. And
yeah,
it's like if you look at other people's artwork, like that's not the case for a lot of people.
yeah,
A lot of people just draw just because it feels good. And even just having a sketchbook where you just open it for 15 minutes and just drawing how you feel,
yeah,
like that feels amazing. And or even just like writing, because writing is also creative. Like I don't want to diss any like any artistic passion
yeah,
is creative. And it does help you, like it helps improve your creative problem solving. It helps with communication, it builds dopamine up. So I really try to push that. It's not just for people who you think are professionals, it's also like a good outlet to help you.
yeah, for sure. You said creative problem solving.
Yeah. So studies show that people who paint or write or sculpt have higher creative problem solving than people who probably don't pursue those as often. And that's because when you are drawing, you have like this picture in your head,
Yeah,
and it's like a 4K picture. And then when you draw it, it might not come out like that. And so you try to find different ways to make it more to your liking. And that creates different neural pathways in your brain. And so the more you develop that, the more you can see problems from different angles. So I do like to encourage, like, this isn't just for if you think, oh, I'm just a logical person, this won't benefit me. I promise you it does benefit. It has a lot of positive things that even if you don't feel like you're a creative person, it does help you.
you're the very first person I hear talking about creative problem solving, and I really love that. Yes, I'm definitely, I know what you're talking about. I just never heard of that specific, definition of it. I think you should write about this more. It's
I actually have a few articles coming out about
that's
creative problem
great.
solving. Yeah, I think people also confuse it with critical thinking,
Yes.
which is another way to think about it. But you see, with critical thinking, it's very linear. You were taught it in school.
Yeah.
You go from A, B, C, D. Whereas like creative problem solving, you're like, well, I could go from A, and then this route actually is shorter, and it could take me to my destination faster.
Yeah.
So it just the more you are like pursue an artistic passion or be creative, the more the skill develops.
Yes. Yes, I know. I remember how I had to push myself in order to be able to look from different angles and also push myself to be able to listen to other people because, not only just focus on my point of view and push forward to other people under my point of view, but also want to see their point of view, and also maybe some other different and alternative angles, because just because of that, because we always see the whatever it is, the subject in just from just one point of view.
Mhm.
You can see it like that or like
Yeah.
that, and but there are so many other points of view that you have to think about it.
Yeah. And if people think like, oh, this may take long to develop, and I'm like, 15 minutes a day. Like if you do 15 minutes like 3 times a week,
Yeah,
like you will see it develop. And then you also feel better about yourself because there's something about just having like a textile hobby, like drawing, painting,
exactly.
writing, or sculpting, like also helps with brain dexterity. So it helps you build up like memory and things like that. So
Yeah,
I just people are like, "Oh, I don't have hours." I go, "You don't need hours. 15 minutes." I created a whole collection of art in 15 minutes a day.
yeah.
So just do like 15 minutes like twice a week or 3 times a week and you'll see an improvement in like a month.
Yes, yes. It's amazing. It's really amazing. It's so necessary and so important for us to. It develops us in so many ways and improves the quality of life
Mhm.
tremendously, tremendously, basically. And I also, so people think and struggle with things that they want to achieve in their lives, but they forget about being creative. And actually, that's where the answers are. So
Yeah.
unlocking your creativity is really the key to achieving pretty much anything that you want. And it's
Yeah, and I think oh,
yeah,
sorry. And so I think that's why people say kids have such wild answers to, like, questions. It's like it's because they have so much imagination. Like, just ask them a random question, they have, like, such a wild story to tell you.
true.
And you lose that as an adult because it's, like, very linear, and so getting that back is just it makes your life richer too.
Exactly, exactly. All right. Tell me about your Substack journey. How did everything begin? How did you find out about Substack?
I found out about Substack back in April. Um, a I follow this girl on Instagram. Her name is Haley White, and she used to be my art coach.
Okay.
And she posted, she's like, "Oh, I have an article on Substack," and I was like, "Wonder what that is." And when I clicked on her article, I was like reading through it. I was like, "Oh, this is like pretty neat." And I kind of went down a rabbit hole of looking at other creative Substacks and I was like, this is pretty cool because I've always wanted to write a blog
Yeah,
and I didn't want to do it like on a website or something. It just didn't feel aligned to me.
yeah,
And the creative Substacks I was seeing were really, really cool, but I noticed they weren't really tackling like the mindset. And a lot of their tutorials were like an hour long, which I get, like, a lot of art it can take a bit of time, but for someone who works like me, who has, like, a 9 to 5, I
yeah,
don't have an hour.
yeah,
Like,
exactly.
even 30 minutes sometimes can be really hard to find. So, I dug deep and I was like, I really couldn't find anyone that did bite size, like, creative tutorials or teaching even like the mindset of like how to overcome your own self-doubt about being creative or about being an artist. And that's when I decided I was like, no, like that's what I'll do. Like I'll help show busy and beginner creatives that it's easier than you think. And you don't really have to show anybody. Like this could just be for you. And you'll find like it benefits you. And so that's how I started.
Yeah, no, I think you nailed it. You just actually found a weakness, which is in other creative newsletters. So those long tutorials for most people who are busy with their 9 to 5 jobs, they don't really have that time to consume and to invest that time to get creative, and bringing creativity within just 15 minutes per day is just genius, I think. It's
Yeah, and even people try to like dispute like, oh, 15 minutes is still hard. I go, 15 minutes is like a coffee break. So like
yeah,
your lunch break, like just whip out your sketchbook. My sketchbook is literally is like tiny. My sketchbook is like this big. It fits in my purse.
exactly.
Random. I have a random mechanical pencil I had since like high school. And I just, whenever I have just like 15 minutes, I just whip it out and I'll draw a
Yeah,
flower or a leaf or something I see throughout the day. So I'm
yeah,
like, just substitute doom scrolling
yeah,
for your sketchbook.
yeah, yeah, yeah. For that reason, I think you're gonna like that. I have here, I don't know if you see, but I have three of those, but
Oh, I love it.
yes. And
That's so cool.
yeah, and also I have these
Oh
colors.
my gosh, these are gorgeous.
Yes, yes. It's really helping me when when I try to think or create some kind of a strategy or idea, and I use this, and I draw in white papers all over around me. It's
Yeah.
helping me a lot. Um, yeah. All right. So what are you aiming to achieve? So how do you help your um subscribers and paid subscribers on your Substack?
So for my free subscribers, I do a free article and it's more general about what it will be about. My latest one is about creative space
Yeah.
because I know you see a lot of artists with like art studios and it's like Pinterest perfect and it's beautiful. And for a lot of people, that's a goal, but for more realistically, not everyone has space for an art studio. So I just say, hey, that's great, but you could also make art on the kitchen table, on the floor of your living room,
Yeah.
on your outdoor patio. Like you don't need it to be picture perfect. You just need it to be welcoming and inviting and
Yeah.
to call in that creative muse. For my paid subscribers, I take it a step further and I will create kind of some kind of PDF
Mm.
that shows you step by step like what will help you call it in.
Okay.
So for creative space, I always say you should create like a ritual, and I'll list out ways that you can create this ritual, ways that you can make it feel more inviting.
Yeah.
I show pictures of my creative corner. It's literally a corner in my living room, and sometimes I'll use my easel, and sometimes I use the floor. It just depends what I'm doing that day. um,
Great. Yeah.
my paid yeah, my paid subscribers also get a digital zine. So it's kind of like a mini magazine of everything we did that previous month. It's kind of
Oh,
like a creative toolbox. So I send out the link or a PDF
yeah.
and it breaks down like these are the articles, this is what I talked about, here's a journal prompt. Here, if you want to take your creativity to the next level, here's something you can do.
Yeah.
I've given out habit trackers, time audits. Um, I want to give you something like something more practical
Yeah.
that you could do in 10 or 15 minutes just to prove proof of concept.
Yeah.
Um, paid subscribers, we also do a weekly challenge in the paid subscriber tier.
Yeah.
And those are really not out there, but like I kind of push you a little bit because I want it to be 15 minutes, but I just the prompt may be like, oh, this is actually going to take me 20. And it's like, that's
Oh,
okay. Like, just see what you do in 15 minutes.
yeah.
We're aiming for progress, not perfection.
Yeah.
Perfection is the killer of creativity.
Yeah.
So, this past month, we actually created a art piece and we did it step by step. So by the end of September, they will have a full creative art piece that they did 15 minutes once a week. So
That's
it took
really
them an hour.
great. That's
Yeah.
really great. Amazing. Amazing. Yeah, so you said exactly. So perfection is the killer of creativity. What do you think about stress? I think it's a huge problem, and it's also very difficult to become or stay creative when you're under tremendous amount of pressure or stressed.
Yeah. Yeah, there's whether it's like in your daily life and you feel stressful and picking up the pencil feels like 100-pound weight, there is a way to honor, you always want to honor how you're feeling and not like view it as an obligation.
Yeah.
Like your creative time, you should treat it almost like a doctor's appointment where like it's scheduled and you should do it. But if you're like, man, I had like a super stressful day, like I just don't want to pick up the pencil, pick up, instead of picking up a pencil, why don't you just find the reference for what you want to create?
Yeah.
Like if you're like, oh, I really hope to create a sunflower, but I don't feel like drawing. You know what? I'm just gonna go on Pinterest, set the timer for 10 minutes, and find 4 reference pictures for my next creative session. That way, I'm not wasting time. I still feel like I'm moving forward with something. And I kind of honored that today was kind of a crappy day. So I'm just going to hang out with whoever or sit on the couch, watch a comfort show.
That's a
I
great
will always, I will always say don't doom scroll when you're stressed.
because it's only worsening the situation.
Yeah, it does. But yeah, creativity has steps too. I actually kind of wrote an article that creatives are walking contradictions because people view us as scatterbrained and like we don't get stuff done,
Yeah.
but we do get stuff done and there are deadlines. So we have to be kind of structured and logical in some way,
Yeah.
but no one really sees that part. So that's something else I show, that creativity kind of flourishes in some kind of structure.
Yeah. 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 I fully agree here. Yes. You cannot be, and you shouldn't be in the extremes, actually. You have to, I think you have
Mhm.
to alternate and also maintain some kind of a balance, and one that is you feel comfortable with.
Yeah.
Otherwise, it's just not working. It's more,
Yeah.
mm,
Otherwise, it becomes more of a burden
yeah,
instead of a release, which is like what we're aiming for, is we want it to release whatever pent up emotions you have. We want it to build all those happy hormones so that you want to continue it.
yeah, and colors are really helping about that. You know, I was before I started on Substack, I was also exploring at certain point of view coloring books because I love colors and I
I
was
love
to
coloring books.
so I found myself creating tons of coloring pages with Mid Journey because it was so easy, and so much like I really went to in a spree of creativity, and some of them I sold on Amazon. It was
That's amazing.
um,
I love coloring books. I used to have a collection of coloring books, and they were like Disney themed, and they were really like detailed. But even I was doing that during my master's program when I was at university, and I would just find 15 minutes like just to color. So like that's another great outlet if you feel like I just can't draw. Grab a coloring book. You could print
exactly.
them off Etsy. iPad iPads have coloring books. You can do Procreate. Like there's so many options.
Yeah, yeah, definitely, definitely. So I have my app on my tablet, on my iPad, and sometimes when I'm in a meeting, I love to like pick some different colors and try to, I start drawing. But yeah, just to calm myself down, or it helps me actually listen better, I think. I think.
Yeah. No, that's awesome. I like to do like a monotone on my iPad. So
Yeah.
I'll just pick one color
All
and
right.
I'll just see what I can create from
All
one color, like just practice with the shades and the hues and the tones. And it's fun. They're not, I'm not gonna say they're gonna end up in a museum, but if I
right.
felt good like in the moment, and I showed like my husband and he's just like, those are cute. Like
Yeah. But what do you think, by the way, what do you think about drawing on the iPad versus drawing on paper? I have heard that it's also, I think it's the similar question when it comes to reading. So whether you're reading from reader, or Kindle or something like that, or reading from a paper book, I have heard that different centers in the brain are activated when you touch paper versus consuming something digitally. And yeah, what do you
Yeah,
think?
I have always personally been more of a traditional girly. So like most of my art is acrylic art on canvas or watercolor.
Yeah.
I have done digital art. I used to do illustrations for children's books.
Okay.
So I have done those. Um, I I would say if for me, I like traditional more because I do like the texture of
Um,
paper. There's a lot of studies that show doing things where your hand like touches something else to create produces more happy hormones. I'm not going to pretend I know the names of all of them.
yeah. Yeah.
Produces more than doing digital.
Yeah.
Not, but they both do the same thing.
Yeah.
Like they still produce, they still help you release.
Yeah.
I would say if you are going to do traditional, they do have like textured like covers so
Yeah.
that when you are drawing, you hear it makes it sound like it's like a pencil on paper.
Yeah.
And I heard even that like helps produce, but there's something just like I don't want to say primal, but like older, like wired in us that we just our brain prefers like touching dirt or like touching paper or
Yeah.
touching a pencil.
Yes. Yes.
And for me that works better because there's just something about the feel of my paintbrush, like holding a paintbrush that doesn't compare when I pick up an Apple Pen.
True. Yeah, true. Yes, it's just because we also prefer the physical contact. Um,
Mhm.
Psychologically, I think it's also it has proven, especially during the COVID times, that without the physical connection, um,
Yeah.
we have psychological problems a lot as humans. So we need that definitely. All right, back to Substack. Back to Substack. I got really so creativity is one of my passions as well. So I'm curious about a lot of things. So, but yeah, back to Substack. How it has been so far your journey on Substack? What challenges did you face? Any growth challenges? How did you address them? Any best practices that you could share, or maybe some lessons learned with so that newbies who are coming and are very very new can learn
Oh
some.
man. So I technically started my Substack in May, but I
Okay.
didn't start taking it seriously until August, like July, August time. And so when I first started out, the hardest thing for me was just like reach people. And I was doing notes, like
Yeah.
QT notes, like what you might find like on X,
Yeah.
Twitter. And I just didn't feel like I was reaching people.
Yeah.
Like I just didn't think I was getting any traction. And I understand like I was new, but I felt like literally no one was listening to me.
Yeah.
Um, and then I actually stumbled upon your Substack and reading, even as when I was like doing the free version, just reading your articles, I was able to pinpoint areas where I can do better. So, notes, I redid like my whole notes and I started posting 3 to 4 times a day for notes. And I would just, since I was working, I would just do like 15 minutes, like interacting on Substack. And just that, just doing notes and just interacting, I was getting like some traction. Like some people were starting to follow. And I was like, okay, okay. I'm like, I'm seeing this. And then when I started to do my articles, a lot more people started. So once I started to show up and I started to change my mindset of I need to make this, I need to be more present here if I want to grow at the rate I wanted to do.
Yeah.
Um, But it was hard because during the day I was at my desk and I had to time audit my schedule and find out where I was able to. At the time, we weren't able to schedule our notes. I
Yeah.
had to find time where I could sneak into the bathroom and
Yeah.
just like send my note out to the onto Substack, and then find time to write my articles
Yeah.
at home. And that was probably the hardest for me. Thankfully, you're able to like schedule your articles so that that
Yeah.
wasn't really a big issue. Uh, and then it wasn't until I actually started taking it seriously, and I was like, okay, I'm going to invest in this. And I started at your Substack quest,
Yes.
and that for me was the game changer. That your notes viral GBT
Yeah.
all the time. Like
Okay.
I'm even going on my honeymoon next week,
Yeah.
and I'm asking it to like generate content for those 2 weeks, and I'm scheduling it,
Yeah.
and that way I could just like whenever I have a chance to interact, I will.
Yeah.
But at least I know like my content is being posted.
Yeah.
And I think that like now where I'm at, it's just like it's easier. I have
Yeah.
a lot more flexibility with what I'm doing.
Yeah, yeah. Thank you so much, Jessie. It's really means a lot. So I haven't asked for anyone who's watching, so I haven't asked for this.
No, she did it. It's just the truth. Like
Yes,
it's
yes,
just where I started and where I found your Substack just happened. It was like in written in the stars. And
yeah,
so and everything I've been doing, I just been following you. Like I just been following your quest and what you've been recommending, and
yes.
it's just proof of concept.
Thank you so much. Yes, that was the point. Actually, I wanted to put everything in that quest, so that people can implement by themselves everything that I have found already. And I didn't want to do like most of the other people who are teaching Substack or um, how to grow your newsletter. So they are basically
Yeah.
giving you some of part of the thing, and then for everything else they want to upsell you and sell you like new programs, new workshops, and things like that. So I wanted to put everything in my newsletter, so people like you can find it easier and have that feeling that they have everything that that they need to grow. And so far it has worked really well, and thank you so much for confirming that my
Yeah.
strategy is working. But yeah, the notes writer and the viral notes writer has been a very great tool that I have developed, and also the scheduling tool that we have now. Um,
Mhm.
it's a game changer, yes. So you could basically write notes for a week or 2 weeks and go on vacation, and everything is working. You just have to,
Yeah.
the notifications, and
And
so
it's great. That was something I was looking for at the start of my Substack
yeah.
journey too. I was like, there has to be a way to schedule notes. There was like an extension on Chrome or something, but like people are like, it only works like 10% of the time. And I'm like, oh, well, that
Yeah.
doesn't that doesn't solve my problem. So then when he came with Tim, I believe, or when it was introduced that now it could be scheduled, I
With
was just like, oh, thank God.
yeah. Yeah, yeah. It's really great. Okay. How about what do you do when you are interacting with other people? Can you share some um, experiences there or best practices? Because I have been talking with people about Substack growth a lot, and this is I think this is one of the key things that you have to do. The problem is that most people don't find it very um, pleasing experience or pleasant experience, uh, and they find it also challenging or time consuming. Any best practices that you could share, I think, would be valuable.
I love talking to people in my comments. Like when I post re- recently, I posted like a note about creative space. It doesn't have to be Pinterest worthy. It just has to be welcoming.
Yeah.
And someone commented that's like, yeah, I live in an RV and I create art like outside or on my bed. And I was like, that is so interesting. And then I was like, oh, that's so cool. I do it on my floor or out on my patio. And he was like, oh, that's amazing. And then we started kind of chit chatting in the comments. I I think if you're passionate about what you're posting, talking to people in the comments is probably the easiest way to interact. And I know not everyone gets comments, but when you do, like, engage with them, ask them questions like, "Oh, what did you find? Why did you like, what was it that really resonated with you about this post?" I also read other creative articles. So there's this one creative article I like to read. It's called Creative Pep Talk, and he gives a lot of great advice. And I'll comment on his article like, "Hey, this is amazing. I love your idea. This is like what I was thinking about while I was reading it." And we start a conversation that way. And I will restack something from the article.
Yeah.
Um, and I restack it with a note because restacks are great, but I think people want to know why you restacked it. Like, what was it about this
Yeah.
3 sentences that really resonated with you?
Yeah.
Because people are on your Substack to hear what you have to say about your topic. So share your opinions and then ask like, what do you think? Like, do you agree with this or do you have like a different view?
Yeah.
What's fun about the creative space is everyone has really wild like imaginations. So sometimes people think of like things out of the blue and I was like, "Oh, that's so cool. I never thought about it that way."
Yeah. Yeah.
So
Yeah.
those are kind of like my three main ways to interact with people.
Yeah. Yeah. Um, about comments, I have also noticed that whenever because I sometimes just simply don't have the time to answer all of my comments every day, and I
Yeah.
do it for like 2 3 days. But I noticed that when I interact with answer people because they're really asking me questions, and they really want to know more about what I have written. Not all of them, of course. There are some who are engaging for the purpose of engagement, and they're leaving one
Mhm.
of the, comments that you simply cannot answer anything different than just say thank you or just like it. But there are people who are truly and genuinely interested in what I'm saying, and are asking questions and want to know more or have a different opinion and start to discuss. And when I notice that when I pay attention and interact with those people and connect with those people, then they subscribe. And that's,
Yeah.
yeah, and then that's how you convert, followers into subscribers, because when they interact with you, they start basically, um, not automatically, but they kind of Substack starts showing your content to them more often. Um, and at some point, they just simply become subscribers.
Yeah, and you build like a connection, and I think that's a lot of what Substack is connection and community.
True.
And the best way to do that is to talk to people.
I agree 100% here. Yes, I think it's truly important. And everyone who complains of slow growth, this is the solution. So
Yeah.
do that. It helps really a lot.
Yeah, yeah, it definitely does.
Okay, to closing, moving towards the closing of this part of this spotlight. So, anything new? Last question about your Substack. Anything new that you plan to introduce in your Substack in the near future? Anything exciting?
I
Anything?
am aiming in November, probably like mid to late November, to start doing bite-sized tutorials. So
Oh,
I
sounds
am,
great.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, I am aiming. So I'm hoping to have the first one done about like mid-November, and there'll probably be like 15 to 20 minutes, just something you can like watch on your lunch break, watch it while you're outside or whatever. And I want to break down art concepts so that other people who don't feel as creative will have some kind of confidence to try to do something. And then eventually I want to do bigger online courses where we'll create an art piece together and we're going to break it down into 15 to 20 minutes at most to show that that's all the time you need. So
That sounds
those
really
are the two
great.
things coming up.
That sounds really, really amazing. So, for everyone who's watching, if you're into creativity, and you should, I think every human being has to be, please subscribe to Jessi. She has an amazing stuff in her publication. Um, okay, Jessi, one question also about Substack. So, if you had to start it all over again, what would you do differently?
I I would have a more structured plan in place, like what I do now, because at the start I was just like throwing spaghetti at the wall. But I would have a more structured plan on at least the articles that I'm going to post for that month. Um, and have some kind of note system,
Yeah,
like whether I post, I would say at least try for like 2 times a day, because I know things could get like life gets hard, but 4 times a day has been my sweet spot. And definitely being more present.
yeah, yeah. I
Yeah.
love that. Yeah, it's really, it's, I think that's the most powerful tip for growth that you can have, because otherwise it feels like a burden, and it doesn't have to. It shouldn't actually.
Mhm.
And that's why I created this system with the viral notes writer. It makes it really easy to me. And then when I implemented it for myself, and I said, oh, I have to share this with my paid subscribers. So yes, really
And
amazing.
it's nice because then once you find your community, it
Yeah.
just makes things so much easier, like, you want to show up.
Yeah.
Like, I look forward to like, when I get notifications, I look forward to seeing what people say,
Yes.
because the people that are constant on my notes, they're so much fun to talk to.
Yes, yes, yes. It's like a, yeah, it's like a camp actually that you're.
Yeah, yeah. That is a great way to describe it. I would agree with that.
Yeah, yeah. It's really nice to be on Substack, which is very rare on any online platform right now, especially social media. It's a
Yeah.
really unique place to be.
Yeah, I agree.
All right. Any your best productivity tips? What would you share?
I I've been doing this for years. Time audit. Like, legit, I used to do these daily, now I do them weekly. I literally write out my full schedule
Yeah.
for the week, and even, like, the tiniest little thing, like wake up, get dressed, shower, driving. Like, I block all that time out, and I look where I can squeeze in some creativity time. But I mean, you could use this for any habit um, building that people are trying to do.
Yeah.
And I will see like how I could progress that week and what towards my goal.
Yeah.
And I always say be realistic. Like, if you're like, oh, I have 5 spots open, I'm gonna fill everything with something. And I'm like, but are you really, like, you're going from 0 to 100. Start to, like start with, like, 1 or 2, and then, like, build up.
Yeah.
Because every time you don't show up for that art session or that creative session, it chips away at your self-confidence, and it chips away at your trust, and we're trying to build that up. So, doing a lot after you've done nothing, that's just going to be detrimental. So I always tell people, start small. Even once a week is great. Like, just show up, and then once you feel comfortable, build up.
Yeah.
Um, and that's how you build confidence, trust, and your skills.
True, true, really. Yeah, I love that. I was experiencing this very recently when I was trying to get up early and so trans.
Yes.
Yes, because I was writing all of the time in the evenings because of my 9 to 5 job, and then I wanted to shift that so that I have more time in the evenings for different stuff. And I couldn't just I I could, but I didn't want to get up early every morning. And then at some point, I just said, okay, it's non-negotiable. You have to, Yana, you have to do it. And then I started doing it like every morning. And
Yeah.
sometimes it's difficult, but after I finish everything that I have planned for the day on my writing business, on my Substack, then the whole day I feel so much, so energized, and in my mood is so lifted up. It's really
Yeah.
amazing. It's really,
Yeah. Yeah, I've tried. I used to wake up really early and then I fell out of it and I was trying to get back into it.
yeah,
And I actually had to like journal about it, have like some self-reflection. I'm like, am I being realistic or am I just doing this because I used to do it?
yeah,
Um, so having that conversation with myself and then realizing I'm not a morning person. I'm like, I can't wake up early anymore. I could stay up late.
yeah.
So instead of waking up early, I stay up a little later to get things done. And even like that, I feel like I have better sleep because I'm not stressing and I'm like, I still did it. I still accomplished my goal. So that's why I'm like, you have to find what works for you and you have to be honest with yourself, which is the hardest thing to do sometimes.
It is, yes. So you have to stay comfortable with yourself and not punish yourself for not doing stuff. You just
Mhm.
allow yourself to be human and make
Yeah,
mistakes. Yes.
exactly. And that's something I try to explain. I go, we aim for perfection so much, but we as humans are not perfect.
Exactly.
So we're striving for an impossibility. So
Exactly.
just
Yeah.
the best thing you could do is at least give yourself grace.
Yes. Yes. Just yeah, embrace yourself, and that's actually when everything starts happening. So
Yeah, exactly. It really is.
yeah. All right. Can you share some books that have significantly influenced your life?
Oh yeah. There's this book by Rick Rubin called The Creative Act.
Hmm.
And it talks about the mindset of being a creative and how to implement it into your life. That's like my number one book. I'm rereading it for like the second time. Um, there's another book, Stop Believing Everything You Think. It is about overcoming your negative thoughts because your brain is the number one liar to yourself.
True. Very true.
Your brain is trying to keep you safe and you can accomplish everything you want. Um, I think right now my third book would probably be Atomic Habits.
I love
Uh,
that.
isn't that such a good book? I love Atomic Habits and the Compound Effect. I think the Compound Effect right now it has the most influence in my life because I'm kind of teaching that in a creative way.
That's great. That's really great. Of course. All right, I love that. I have to check the other two books because I know only the Atomic Habits. So I have to check the others for sure. Right. Okay. Last question. If money wasn't an issue, what would you do
Like in general,
in general?
oh man, if money wasn't an issue, I probably would be really focused on my art and building up the skills so I could get into a gallery and finish my novel.
Yeah.
Yeah. I guess just being a full-time artist. Like if money
Yeah.
wasn't an issue, I would be a full-time artist right now.
It's just everything that you're already doing right now, basically, is just
Yeah,
time.
exactly.
Of course, of course.
Just without the day job. Yeah, exactly what I'm doing now, but just all the time.
But that only shows that you're on the right track because you already live that abundant life, you know. Uh,
Yeah. Yeah, that's true. Never thought about that.
true, yeah. Yeah, actually that's if that's my favorite answer actually, because if you say that you're basically want to do the same thing that you're doing right now, it means that you already have it.
Yeah. Yeah. And I love teaching people too. So I guess I would also continue my Substack because I would want people to live their happiest life, and I want creativity to be a part of that in some way.
Yeah, yeah, it's great that we have people like you who are helping other people to get to creativity. There are not many, as many as as I would like to have, like you, to focus on that. It's not really easy, but I think that everyone should focus on that and improve that, especially if they're struggling with creativity. And I think they're mostly not, because it's not a conscious state where, oh, I'm not creative, I have to improve my creativity. Nobody thinks that. And that's the
Yeah.
problem. That's the problem. Yeah, so we're lucky, truly lucky, that we have people like you to take care of.
Thank you.
Yeah. Yeah, well, Jessi, it was an amazing conversation. Thank you so much for this. Thank you.
Thank you so much for having me. This was amazing. It was so much fun.
Yes, yes, it was so much fun for me too. And yeah, and thank you so much. I see you on Substack.
Yeah.
Thank
Yep, I'll be there.
Continue there. Yes. Join me for a spotlight session like this. All you need to do is to join one of my monthly challenges, either notes or writing. Stay consistent and make sure you add yourself to the accountability tracker. Oh, and you have to be one of my paid members. If you complete just one of those challenges in just one single month, it's highly probable that I will select you for a spotlight session so that you can talk about yourself, share your personal story, and spread the word about your Substack so that more people will learn about it and hopefully become your subscribers. I distribute those sessions to my entire subscriber list on Substack, ConvertKit, NowKit, and my Medium account and my social media channels. It's easy to win those challenges, and all you need to do is just to stay consistent. I see you inside.